welcome. Tonight is April 15th, 2026. I'd like to call the Concord School Committee to order. Today is tax day, which is no fun. It's also One Boston Day, where people in Boston are give acts of kindness. And I think tonight we have two really special recognitions for two really kind people. So it's really, really fitting. Up first is Principal Matt Lucy.
Should we roll call in first?
Oh, excuse me, Tracy's in, excuse me. Roll call in. Hercheck present.
Morano present.
Sorry, Tracy.
Bishardi present.
Rankin present.
Williams present.
First up is Principal Matt Lucy, who announced his retirement earlier this year. And we wanted to give a recognition on behalf of the school committee and the PTG, so we'll get into that. Couple housekeeping items. I think usually we have the public do public speaking during public comment. If you are going to talk about Matt or Carrie, please feel free to do it during the recognition, and we'll keep public comments separate, and then people can get on their way. So without further ado, I wanted to just read a quick statement I had on Matt.
Can we make him come to the table?
Please. Matt, it's my pleasure to kick things off tonight as we recognize and celebrate you and your many years of leadership out at Willard. As a parent of two, I've had the privilege of knowing you for the past 6 years, dating back to when my kids first entered the school during very difficult COVID years. From that very first interaction, it was clear that our kids were in very good hands. You bring a presence to Willard that is both steady and joyful. Whether you greet students and families with a smile in the morning, adding your signature flair to announcements, or out in the afternoon directing traffic, you are certainly, I said present, Whitney told me to say omnipresent around the Willard campus and community. More importantly, I think you have built a really great community, one where students feel known, families feel welcomed, and teachers feel supported. And that includes the transient students that were with us for a short time during the shelter. I think they felt very included in our community, so really good job. Tonight is an opportunity to recognize and celebrate you and all you've done for Willard. Thank you for your leadership, your dedication, and the care you've shown to so many students and families over the years. And on a personal note, thank you for your friendship. Whitney and I are incredibly grateful, and we will miss you greatly. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Lauren and members of the PTG for the formal recognition of your time.
Now, would you like me to stand here or?
Come on up.
Okay. And stand or? For those who don't know me, I'm Lauren Judge. I have a Willard 4th grader, 2nd grader, kindergartner, and a little guy at Concord Integrated Preschool. I'm also Vice President of the Willard PTG and President of the Preschool PTG. Thank you to Dr. Hunter for inviting us tonight and to the school committee for sharing your time with us. I also want to thank all of you for your tireless work. You dedicate an incredible amount of time and energy to making our school stronger, and we're grateful you've taken it on, so thank you. And now we'd like to honor a man who has meant a great deal to the Willard community and who has completely broken our hearts with the news of his retirement. There are many people, current students, former students, parents, and staff members who wanted to be a part of this tribute, and it was really tough to narrow it down. We assembled a group here who will each take a moment to share with you what Willard Principal Matt Lucy means to them, and I will begin. Just before my oldest child started kindergarten, my husband and I decided we would raise our family in Concord. Throughout my life, I've been very close with my Aunt Carol, who spent her career teaching in Weston Public Schools. When Carol learned that we had our eye on Concord, she said to me, "If you can get that school where Matt Lucy is principal, make that happen. He's the best boss I ever had." So we made that our mission. Luckily enough, we landed at Willard in the walk zone, and we quickly fell in love with every aspect of our Willard life. We're now 5 years in at Willard with 3 of our 4 kids in the building. I can say with my whole heart that this school and its community have been one of the greatest gifts I could ever imagine giving my children. And that is in large part because of the man who has been at the helm of that community, Matt Lucy. Matt has helped establish a culture at Willard that is defined by warmth, inclusivity, enthusiasm, and true community, all qualities that Matt himself embodies. Matt and his team make my kids love coming to school. My kids are proud of their school, and they love telling people about their school. Their classmates, teachers, and principal feel like family to them. When we drive by Willard after dark, they look out the window and say, "Good night, Willard, I love you." These sentiments all reflect the influence of a leader who thoughtfully cultivates a deep love for both community and school and makes sure that people in and around that building feel that they are valued and that they belong. It was not until the news of Matt's retirement that I realized that I think of Matt Lucy and Willard Elementary School as one and the same. The unmistakable white curls, generous smile, and contagious energy are as much a part of Willard as the building itself. It's very hard to imagine that building without him. He's such an integral part of our day-to-day life there. Like my children, he has made me too love being in and around that building. At every Willard event and at the end of each school day, the energy at Willard reminds me that we are a part of something that is wholesome and connected, and that's a tone set by Matt. Matt has an extraordinary ability to personally connect with everyone on the property as he sends off the buses each day, making each person feel that they matter. There's something about his presence that brightens your day. My kids love his morning announcements featuring snippets of Spanish or exciting updates on the Iditarod. A quick high five or a brief greeting from Matt can offer a genuine lift and a reassurance that you didn't even know you needed, and that's true for children and adults alike. I've had an unwavering comfort and confidence knowing my children are in that building each day, guided by Matt's steady leadership. This past fall, my Aunt Carol, who encouraged us to land at Willard, passed away. In recent weeks, I've found myself instinctively reaching for my phone to text Carol, knowing she would understand exactly how I'm feeling about Matt's departure. I want to tell her how deeply sad I am, that this feels like a real loss for our community and for my family. I've been wanting to tell her how my kids cried at the news of his retirement, how my fourth grader said no one can fill his shoes, how my preschooler runs to Matt at pickup shouting, "Mr. Lucy, Mr. Lucy." And when he doesn't see Matt, he asks me with his palms in the air, "Where's Mr. Lucy?" To have an energetic, upbeat man in a female-dominated profession showing my kids, and not just my boys, but my daughter too, what it means to be a good man and a good leader, how to balance being kind and having a strong backbone has been invaluable to me as a mother. Without getting too personal, and Matt isn't even aware of this, our family has had to navigate some difficult and painful relationships with important extended family members in recent years. When you carry a heartbreak that heavy, it is people like Matt modeling such goodness for your children who help piece your heart back together. In experiencing this loss and pain, it has become even more important to me that my kids find adults in their community that they treasure, and most importantly, that they can count on. In many ways, Matt has unknowingly helped fill a quiet void and restore something in our hearts, simply by being himself and going about his day in his authentic Principal Lucy way. A large part of my decision to serve as PTG president the next 2 years was rooted in knowing that with Matt's leadership, the work would be joyful and inspiring. I'm sad to not get the opportunity to work alongside him. But then I think about the Lucy legacy, and I feel compelled to help sustain it however possible, to do what I can to see that our school community continues to reflect Matt's values, his spirit, and his vision of belonging. The Willard community is something my children will treasure most from their childhood, and seeing the joy that it brings them is one of the greatest rewards of my motherhood. This will be Matt's legacy. Thank you, Matt, for your outstanding leadership. You have inspired a community to aim to be our best selves, to collaborate, to celebrate unity, and to embody goodness. We are better for having had you lead the way. We're so happy for you and we'll miss you terribly.
Michelle Joy. I have not seen that, Michelle.
The next person from our group is Trey Preble, who is a current Willard 5th grader. Thank you, Trey.
Hi everyone, my name is Trey Preble and I'm a 5th grader at Willard. I wanted to say a few words about Mr. Lucy on behalf of myself and the other Willard students. First of all, when I started kindergarten during COVID, I was new to the town and the school, and I know a lot of people felt scared like I did. But Mr. Lucy made us feel that we were in a special and safe place, and it still feels that way 6 years later. Mr. Lucy is the type of person that makes every kid feel special. He also knows every single student's name. He makes school a fun and welcoming place for all of us. He's always smiling and always ready to give a high five or fist bump. I feel so lucky to have been at Willard these past 6 years, and I'm grateful to Mr. Lucy for making it a place that all of us kids love going to every day. I know that I speak for all the other students when I say thank you, Mr. Lucy. We will miss you.
Our next speaker is Tony Fiandaca, who's a Willard 1st grade teacher.
Two very tough acts to follow. I have to change my whole speech. I thought this was a roast, and there's so many things in here. So I'm not even gonna use it. No, I'm just kidding. I want to share a few Mattisms with you. You probably know a couple. If you hear one you know, you can give me one of these. It's 1st grade for me too, yes. He'll say, if that's the worst we've got, and then sort of or we got this? Need anything? Very genuinely said, even though it's a daily repetition. If you're 5 minutes early, you're on time. But if you're on time, you're late. And lastly, how lucky are we? Or rather, how lucky were we to reside under the leadership of this very fine man? I've only taught for 13 years, but I've worked under 7 principals during that time. And Matt is easily one of them. Was he my favorite? Hands down, yes. I wouldn't even hear if he wasn't. And this is why. He's a good egg, but he thinks that we're all good eggs. And the proof is in the pudding. There's another one. If you've ever interacted with him, it's quite evident that he cares about you and what you have to say at that moment. He's a very present person. The excitement he creates when engaging with students is palpable. His partnership with parents is seamless and authentic, and the guidance that he affords his staff is supportive and useful. Schools are built only for children, and so I think that the happiness of the kids they're in is a significant indicator of a school's success. One visit to the Willard at any time during the day will show this happiness, but I think dismissal is an exceptionally great example. One can observe joyous children, families, and teachers interacting and thriving in a vibrant school community. And at the center of this is Matt. This is his work and his legacy. It's because of his visible and consistent presence, exemplary leadership, and welcoming nature that I'm very sad to see Matt go. But he has often said you only get one time around the block, and I know that he will find joy and satisfaction wherever he winds up next. Thank you.
Next, we have Vivian Ring, who is a Willard alumna and a current CMS student.
Hi, my name is Vivian Ring and I'm in 6th grade. Mr. Lucy, I want to thank you for the 9 years you have given Willard Elementary School. We have grown because of you and will continue to grow because of the path that you have made for every student who walks through those double doors of Willard. Now, I want to share a quick little story. In 5th grade, I had the opportunity to become principal for a day. And by doing that, I got to see how hard it is to be a principal and do what you have done every day for 9 years. And you make it look really easy. And I also got to see how wonderful it is, especially getting to see how everything works in this school that we all love and how devoted you are to every student. We want you to know that you have changed our lives for the better and have made school a fun and safe environment for hundreds of kids. And now we know that you've given us the biggest gift of all, being our friend, being our teacher, and more importantly, being a role model. So thank you. Thank you for standing by us through it all. We wish you well in your next chapter. And now some words of wisdom from Taylor Swift as you retire. It was the end of a decade, but the start of an age.
Great. Next, we have Ashley Healy, who is a Willard parent and also president of CPAC.
I practiced mine so I wouldn't cry, but then I realized I'd start crying at other people. So I'm like, okay, I got this. Hi, everybody. I'm Ashley Healy. I'm a parent of 3 children at Willard. They're in 5th, 3rd, and 1st grade, and 2 of them are in special education. You could probably tell I went to public school in the 90s and 2000s. And you know, as a student back then, the perception of the principal was very much, I think, of a disciplinarian, sort of a mysterious figure, maybe like a little sinister, like a Dr. Claw kind of thing. You really didn't see this person. They were not visible. They were not amongst the students during the day. And the only people that really saw the principal a lot were the bad kids. We don't call them that anymore because we know they're not bad kids. I know you know that. And because of you, more people are accepting of the fact that not everybody can do school the same way. And yet, everyone at Willard is doing school in a terrific way. My perception from my childhood was kind of the same all throughout until I met you when we started our Willard journey, which was in the, I'm gonna give a trigger warning, no one else did, the COVID school year, 2020 to 2021, when my current 5th grader started school there. And since then, I can think of so many examples that I could give of what made you such a truly special person to us and to everyone at Willard. But I wanted to focus on one specific thing, which a few people have already touched on, which is the culture that you created. You know, I think it's so clear that you genuinely love and appreciate every single student as a human being, and every educator, para, staff member, everyone in the building, all of the parents, all of the siblings, everybody. You treat each person with the respect and dignity of who they are as an individual, and you have a genuine respect and curiosity about what makes people special and what makes them great. And I just want to make sure I'm saying everything. This culture of acceptance of and inclusion is directly a result of you as a person and as a leader. I'll say in these 6 years, my family and my children have faced some significant challenges, and also some significant victories. And you were there through all of it, with the challenges to navigate and collaborate on the challenges and also to celebrate the victories. And I don't think you've ever missed an opportunity to say something kind, and genuinely, you know, respectful and wonderful about the kids. And that goes a long way, especially when you are a parent of a child who is struggling, or maybe isn't doing everything their peers are doing, to know that that child is appreciated and that they are doing great because they're with someone who sees them. I guess my kids back in my school days might have been the bad kids, then they might have been sent to the principal for discipline. In the sharpest possible contrast I can provide, I am aware that there have been days when my kids were having a really hard time and their choice was to go and hang out with Mr. Lucy and just chat and do a puzzle, and it's somewhere where they can regulate and feel safe, and that I can't give a better example of the culture and the atmosphere you've created. So I just wanted to say in closing that the COVID kindergartner who was often so dysregulated that he couldn't handle being in the classroom for more than 10 minutes at a time sometimes, is now a rising middle schooler who has friends, he has a loving community, and he has a sense of self-worth and pride in himself that I didn't think a few years ago would be possible. And that's a direct result of you. So thank you. We're so grateful for you. We wish you all the best. We're just excited for your next steps. Thanks, Matt.
Okay, next up is Patrick Vane, who is a reading specialist at Willard.
Thank you. Thank you to the committee and Dr. Hunter for having us to honor Matt. It's an honor to stand here and to recognize and celebrate a remarkable leader, colleague, and friend as he prepares to retire after 9 impactful years at the Willard School. And Matt, your time as principal has left a lasting mark on the entire school community. Over the past near decade, you have led with thoughtfulness, steadiness, and an unwavering commitment to doing what is best for students. Your leadership has guided the Willard through meaningful instructional initiatives, including a successful rollout of foundations, EL, and responsive classroom, all of which have strengthened teaching and learning in lasting ways. Of course, your leadership was never more evident than during the unprecedented challenge of COVID. During that time, you were a calm and steady presence for staff, students, and families alike. You navigated uncertainty with clarity and compassion, always keeping the well-being of the community at the center of your decisions. As a reading specialist, I have been really impressed with your commitment to advocating for what students and teachers need. You have overseen a school that has trained a large number of staff in Wilson Reading System. You have also been a strong and dedicated supporter for all of your students with special needs, including students in the lab program, sorry, I lost my spot. Helping to ensure that students with these reading disabilities receive the care, expertise, and opportunities that they deserve. That reflects your deep belief that every student matters and that every learner deserves to be supported and seen. But while these accomplishments are significant, and there are many more we could name, they are not what people remember most. What truly defines your legacy is the way that you connect with people, which has come up a couple times. You have built genuine, lasting relationships with staff, parents, and most importantly, students. You're not a principal who stays behind a desk. I know this because if I'm looking for you, I don't go to your desk. I ask Allison or Melissa where you are. I'm confident that when I can't find you at your desk, you're off helping a student who is having a hard time, problem solving something with Zeb, our custodian, or asking a teacher if they need anything. Or doing something to help a parent, teacher, or student just get through their day. One of my duties involves helping students get on buses in the afternoon. It's a hectic time, but without fail, I see Matt somewhere off in the distance, running around, doing his thing. He's checking in with students who may need an extra one, reminding students how they're supposed to act on the bus, talking to parents and teachers in general, just being present, being available, and trying to help. This is clearly something Matt has prioritized, making strong connections with everyone. Those daily moments may seem small, but they are not. They are what build trust. They are what creates a sense of belonging. They are what makes a school feel like a community. It is the secret sauce to a successful elementary school. So Matt, we wish you all our best in your retirement. It's well earned, and while you would be deeply missed, your impact will continue to be felt each and every day at the Willard School.
We have one more speaker, and it's Jessica Bragdon, who is a Willard parent and secretary of the Willard PTA.
Hi, I'm Jessica Bragdon. I'm the 4th grader and 1st grader. I was a little bit nervous to speak tonight because I think, like many people, public speaking is not my favorite. And once I remembered I was the last speaker, I relaxed a little bit. And I think that's because I realized I could do what I've done a million times before, which is to rely on the Willard community for a little bit of help. I think every teacher and student and parent who spoke tonight expressed some really lovely sentiments about Matt, and I agree with every single one. I think, Matt, I think your tenure has been nothing short of magical, and you'll be missed by our family every day. So I'm not sure how I could possibly add to all of the incredible thoughts. I do have just one quick story, which is that a friend's kindergarten daughter heard that Matt was looking forward to spending some time next year with his first grandchild who's expected in June. Her very earnest and serious reaction was to say, well, I guess this means his new grandchild is more important to him than me. Which is extremely sweet and probably true. I never thought that my kids would go to a school with a principal who made the students feel like they're just as important as his own kids and grandkids, and so for that I'll be forever grateful. And then on behalf of all of the Willard kids who feel like your family, we have a very small token of appreciation that you might find useful next year.
Wear with pride.
Thank you to everyone. Lori said I should come tonight, and I didn't really know what to expect.
And I said, and I'm not telling you why, so.
Thank
Can we get a
you.
photo before you all?
I think Tracy wanted to say one thing.
Oh, alright, sorry.
I'm so sorry, I'm on location, so I'll be really brief. I just want to take the opportunity to really thank Matt for everything, that laugh. I'm gonna miss that laugh. I mean, I have served on committees with you, and the energy that you bring into a room is just, it's unmistakable. I learned a lot about you through your journals. I really hope someday, I really want to see all those journals, because you have a lot of them in your house, I'm sure. And if you don't know this, Matt brings this journal with him everywhere he goes, and he's always writing in it. So I hope that in your retirement, you enjoy your first grandchild, you write a book with everything that you've learned and brought to our community, and take some time for yourself. You've served the town of Concord and the students of Concord well, welcoming our newcomers. That meeting that you said, you know, the newcomers are here. It really resonated with me that no matter who comes across that threshold, you really honor who they are. So thank you for your service to the town, and now it's time for you to go play some golf. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
I just wanna make sure no one else online or in the room had anything else to say. I don't wanna leave anyone out. So if you're online, raise your hand. If you're in the room, please go. I think we got everyone. I think we're good. Okay, picture?
To save it, I'm saving it. June.
I think everyone.
Yeah.
With everyone, yeah, please.
Yeah, that's the best wall.
Yeah.
That's the best wall.
It's got the best light. It's got the best light.
Great fun.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Here, do you wanna?
Ray, what are you get into?
No, I don't. No, I'm good. Okay.
Yeah, fine.
That's true. Good.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
Thank you.
committee.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. That was great.
That was really, really nice.
Just have to, just one, because I can't not say it. Thank you. That's all. For That's all. Thank you.
You are all welcome to stay, but don't feel obligated. Right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should stay for one more.
Okay, stay for
Yes.
one more.
Yes.
Thank you. We have another big thank you.
All right, also bittersweet, this is Carrie Rankin's last meeting. I have prepared some statements I'd like to say, and then I'd like to open it up to anyone else online or in the room, or fellow committee members if they would like to say anything as well. Carrie, I just wanna take a minute and thank you on behalf of this committee for over 4 years of service. If you average 2 meetings a month for 10 months a year, times 4 years, that's over 80 meetings. And that's just school committee meetings. That doesn't include subcommittees, coffees, one-on-ones, all the pre-work we do, that's a lot of dedication. I've had the privilege of serving alongside of you for the past 2 years, but I've known you personally for a little longer than that. In fact, you were really encouraging when I was thinking about joining the committee a couple years ago, and I really appreciate that most of the time. Over that time, I've really gotten to know you and your family very well, and I know you not just as a colleague, but as a friend. What stands out most to me is your character. You're very kind, very thoughtful, and very respectful in every interaction. You listen carefully and you engage with intention, and you always bring a sense of calmness and professionalism to the work that we do. It's also worth recognizing the circumstances under which you began your service. You campaigned during COVID. I know that because when I was rehearsing for the League of Women Voters, I watched you on Zoom. And so that was challenging campaigning, and then certainly I know you joined during the tail end, but very challenging times. So that time required steadiness and resilience, and you brought both. Beyond that, your passion for our schools is unmistakable. You are deeply connected to what's happening in our buildings, especially at Thoreau, and you've consistently pushed us to think how we can keep moving this thing forward. You balance the community with a real desire for progress, and that's not always easy to do. Your contributions have been very meaningful and lasting, whether it's stories of the schools, all the policy work you've done, the Thoreau playground, your contributions are endless. A lot of creativity and a real ability to turn ideas into action. You don't just talk about making things better, you do make them better. On a personal level, it's truly been a pleasure sitting next to you and serving with you. I'm grateful for your partnership, your perspective, and your friendship. You will absolutely be missed at this table, and I know this won't be the end of your involvement. I'm certain we will continue to see you engaged, supporting our schools in the years ahead. So thank you very much for all you've done, from myself and from the committee. Tracy?
Yes, I would love to go next because it's a little quiet where I am right now. Carrie's service to the Concord community reflects a deep commitment to students and public education. During her year as the chair of the Concord School Committee, Carrie provided thoughtful leadership and steady guidance at an important time for the district. She consistently kept the focus where it belonged, on students, their learning, and their well-being, while fostering respectful dialogue and collaboration among committee members, staff, and the broader community. In addition to her role as chair, Carrie led the policy subcommittee, where her careful attention to detail and commitment to strong governance helped ensure the district policies remained clear, current, and aligned with the district's values. She approached this work with diligence and professionalism, recognizing that strong policy provides the foundation for effective and equitable school operations. Carrie was also instrumental in the development of the district's story of the schools, helping to bring together data, experiences, and perspectives that illustrate the impact of Concord's public schools. Her efforts helped create a meaningful narrative about the district's work and the opportunities it provides for students. The community is grateful for Carrie's leadership, her dedication to students, and her many contributions to the Concord and Concord Carlisle Public Schools. Thank you, Carrie, for your continued support for students in the district. I will miss you, and I'm grateful for the overlap that we've had in this committee. Go enjoy being a parent in this wonderful district. Thank you.
There's someone online, but
Yes.
Carrie, you brought something really rare to the committee, which is the ability to ask questions at the right time, and the ability to drive conversation forward without actually steamrolling discussion. In fact, some of the discussions I've had with town folk, one of the comments I get is be more like Carrie, ask questions like her that get to the crux of what the disagreement is and moves the conversation forward. So that's something I'll continue to strive to do. On a personal note, you helped onboard me onto this school committee, and throughout the course of the year, anytime I have had any questions, I've bounced ideas by you, and your guidance really has helped me, so thank you. As Andrew pointed out, 4 years, it's a lot. Thank you for the time you put for this, and now enjoy some more time with family. Thank you.
Thank you.
We had here thank you for being a colleague that was curious enough and actually had a wide enough aperture to look beyond the everyday and look, see something different. So thank you for that. Being a really wonderful colleague.
I will, Michelle?
Yes, thank you. Carrie, thank you for all of your dedication and hard work to this committee. I appreciate all the time that you spent onboarding me in the beginning, and I have really appreciated all of your qualities in discussions. You are always respectful of the other committee members. You ask great questions, and your ability to dissect a topic and find the critical points that need to be identified and looked at and discussed more thoroughly is unparalleled. So we're at a great loss to see you go, but you've put in so much time and energy into this committee over the years, and that is something that should be celebrated. So thank you, and we'll see you around.
Thank you, Michelle.
I think I have one online, and then maybe I'll go online, and then if anyone else in the room would like to say anything, more than welcome to. Can we promote Avani?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Avani, are you there?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I just wanted to, again, thank Carrie for her service. I've known Carrie for over a decade. And I wanted to speak not just as a Concord parent, but as a friend. Long before she was in a leadership position in this committee, I knew Carrie as at kindergarten playgroups and at parent meetups. The kind of places where you quietly notice who shows up, who listens, and who actually does something. And Carrie was always the person who stepped up and did something. She brought this to this role on this committee as well. It's something that's very rare. A deep love for this community, a career built in public service, and a genuine commitment to follow the evidence, even when it wasn't easy. Through the pandemic, a middle school rebuild, and everyday hard work of governing, she showed up with integrity and an open mind and a steady hand. Carrie, you made decisions that weren't always popular, and you made them anyway because you were thinking about our kids and not what was convenient or comfortable. That is the definition of service. Thank you for the time you gave away from Jonathan, Cooper, Leah, and Michaela. Thank you for making Concord your home and then pouring yourself into it. This community is so fortunate, so lucky because we don't get to say goodbye. We still get to call you our neighbor, our friend, and one of the people who help shape the schools for our children to walk into every day. Thank you, Carrie.
All right, anyone else in the room online? Get everything in?
And I told Carrie I'm gonna do more privately, but just a huge thank you. The relationship with this role and this committee is critical. And you've been there through some really tough stuff, which we won't relive right now. And some really positives, big positives that we've been able to celebrate together, like opening the new building. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad your family's getting you back. Cause I get this funny job of watching you all try to manage your families when you're with me and not them at night and all these other hours. So I'm glad for them and for you that you will have that time back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we did go on a possibilities
Yes.
shopping spree.
did.
So
The
this is for
best.
you.
Thank you so much.
And these are also for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've learned a lot. I will remember so much about this. I don't think I've really learned everything yet. So thank you. I appreciate all of you and your commitment to this town. It is a big commitment and a lot. So yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. So beautiful.
All right. Okay, done with recognitions. Next on the agenda, and if you guys need to go, feel free to go. If you wanna stay, stay. Next is our superintendent, chairs, and Metco update. I don't have anything to speak about. I don't think.
No, we've been meeting a lot and I think you're living it live, so that I don't have any right this minute.
And Michelle, I didn't see you online when we roll called in, but you were here, you already spoke, so I don't know if you have anything additional to add on the Metco front.
Sure. I did provide an update yesterday, but for CPS, we had Advocacy Day on Monday. That was well attended and a great success. And I did have a meeting earlier with the Metco PTG reps that have been onboarded onto the Alcott PTG, which is exciting and great. They need to figure out a way to communicate with Metco families, so that's the one thing that they're working on right now. And aside from that, I think that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you.
One thing I might also want to add just from Metco, we got an announcement just hours ago that the funding for Metco has reached the level, at least it's, the line items reached $35 million that we were hoping for, so that's a good thing for Metco Inc. and will filter down to what comes to Concord as well, so that's one thing to add.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Michelle.
Should we have like laugh signs? Like
We didn't put the applause lights up, but thank you.
All right, I will move on to public comment. Do you mind timing for me?
No.
One last time?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Somebody else is gonna do this.
You.
All right, just as a reminder, our public comment period will be a period of 20 minutes. As a reminder, this is a meeting in the public and not with the public, so the school committee will not be responding to comments. If you are in the room and would like to speak, you can submit a blue form to me and I'll call you to speak. If you are on Zoom, you can raise your hand. When called to speak, please state your name and your address. We will go every other, starting with a comment in the room. You have 3 minutes. Okay.
Sorry, where are the blue forms?
Oh, they're up here. It's fine. We're a little out of sorts tonight with all the recognitions.
Oh, should we just?
Just go ahead.
I'll fill it out after, I promise.
Thank you. You wanna start?
Sure.
Okay.
Good evening. First of all, this is my first school committee meeting. Oh my gosh, I did not expect to cry. First of all, before I begin, I want to sincerely thank all of you for the incredible amount of time and heart you pour into our schools. Your dedication to the students of Concord is evident, and it's in that spirit of partnership that I'm here tonight. My name is Brittany Horton, and I'm a Concord parent, mom to a first grader at Willard, a rising kindergartner, and a rising preschooler. Professionally, I work at Google, where I see firsthand how rapidly technology is reshaping our worlds. Because I spend my days at the forefront of tech, I'm here to advocate for the formation of a technology advisory committee to help our district navigate these changes. We all know that technology is no longer a classroom tool. It's in the fabric of our students' lives. From the integration of AI to the complexities of data privacy, the landscape is shifting faster than any single board can be expected to track alone. By establishing an advisory committee, we can tap into the deep well of technological expertise within the Concord community, professionals in engineering, cybersecurity, and digital ethics to provide 3 key things. Future-proofing, helping the district anticipate tech trends before they become crises. Expert vetting, offering diverse perspectives on high-cost infra and software investments. And policy support, assisting in crafting responsible use guidelines that protect our students. To me, this isn't about adding or subtracting screens, it's about an informed strategy. Let's ensure that Concord remains a leader in thoughtful, safe, and innovative education. Thank you for your time and for everything you do for our children.
Thank you.
Now I'll fill out the form.
Next up online, I don't see any hands. So we'll move to another in the room.
Did get one. I will turn in my blue form.
Thank you.
Wouldn't mind passing it down.
Thank you.
It just helps us with the minutes, that's the only reason. So we asked for it.
I wish I could like see the stop clock.
We'll work on that.
We could look. This is also my first school committee meeting, and a big thank you to all of you for the work you do, and Carrie, to you in particular. In addition to the extraordinary hours you spent on your official duty, I know you serve as an informal resource for so many of us, including my family. So I intend to continue using you for that.
Please do.
My name is Beth Neitzel. I live in Concord. I have a second grader at Thoreau, and I have a rising kindergartner at Thoreau, my little one. Professionally, I'm a lawyer. I lead the litigation department at Foley Hoag, but I'm here today in relation to my former capacity. My last role, I served as senior counselor for the Secretary of Homeland Security under President Biden. And in that capacity, I worked with the White House Domestic Policy Council and DOJ's Child Sexual Exploitation and Obscenity section to lead government-wide efforts to combat online child sexual exploitation and abuse. In my role at DHS, I was responsible for something like 9 or 10 different portfolio areas, but this is what I called my kick the covers off my feet when I got up in the morning topic, right? This is where I spent every moment of my time that I could, because after arriving at DHS, I quickly learned that this is an international epidemic. So I'm here to say, I'm not here to engage in fear-mongering. I'm here because in following the discussion about the Tech Advisory Council, which I am also here to urge you to adopt, I was surprised to hear that there has been a lot of support for kids' access to device, including cell phones in school, on grounds of public safety. And I understand where that thinking is coming from, but I'm here to urge you to consider that from a different perspective, because to me, access to device really has the opposite connotation. I am here to tell you with 100% confidence, after the years I spent dedicated to this, I will say we actually established combating this as the first new mission in DHS history. DHS was founded with 5 missions. Secretary Mayorkas and I established this as the first new mission in the history because of how explosive the growth is in this threat. So I want to say that the number of threats, the type of threats, and the severity of those threats has increased truly exponentially in the past 5 years alone, and certainly going when you look at the numbers before the pandemic. And all of the evidence demonstrates that any access to social media or an online or gaming platform that has chat is an opening for these predators. So I'm raising this here not because I think this is happening day in and day out all the time to our kids who have access to devices in schools, but I am here to say this is a huge threat, far, far greater than people realize. And I would ask you to consider the Tech Advisory Council as well, to have as part of its mandate education and expertise in this growing area of threats. I think that this council, our administrator, our teachers, and our parents all need to be educated on this to work together and help educate our kids and protect them. So I'd urge you to consider this piece as well when you're thinking about the Tech Advisory Council, and thank you for letting me go 30 seconds over.
Thank you. I don't see any online, so Meryl?
Hi, my name is Meryl Dolan. Thank you for this time. I'm a mom to a 4th grader and a 7th grader, and I've become increasingly concerned about the impact that devices are having on our kids' ability to learn, focus, and think deeply. I need these actually. I absolutely recognize that there are valid applications of technology that can augment learning and make it more inclusive. However, increasingly research shows us that constant digital distraction is not good for learning, and I only see the presence of tech in schools accelerating. I hear anecdotes almost daily from students and parents about kids watching videos, playing online games, or otherwise being off task on their school-issued devices during class time. Even when technology is intended for learning, it can so easily become a source of distraction. My concerns are threefold. First, cognitive development. Research shows that attention spans are shrinking significantly and standardized test scores have been declining sharply. Second, social development. When screens are omnipresent at school, it can affect how students interact with one another and build relationships. And third, data privacy. As new tools and platforms are introduced, often quickly, it's not always clear how student data is being used or protected. I'll share one example. The rollout of SmartPass at CMS was concerning to me because it appeared to happen without discussion or a clear way for parents to opt out. More broadly, it can feel like we're layering new technology solutions on top of challenges that are, in some cases, being created or worsened by technology in the first place. Our children spend a large portion of their day at school, which means families have limited visibility or control over how technology is used during that time. Given the pace of change, I don't think it's realistic for schools to seek parent input on every individual app or tool, but I do think there is a meaningful middle ground. In other communities, parents and school systems have established technology advisory committees, which I know that's come up. These groups bring together parents, educators, administrators, and IT staff to think carefully about what technology is used, at what ages, and for what purposes. I'm not an expert and not under the illusion there is always a single and right decision about how to deploy tech. But I think participatory and transparent processes are critical, and I think having an advisory group will go a long way to building those processes. My ask tonight is that the school committee consider working with parents to create a technology advisory committee here in Concord. A group like this could help provide thoughtful guidance, increase transparency, and assure that we're approaching technology use in our schools with the level of care and scrutiny it deserves. The stakes are high. This is about how our children learn, how they think, and how they grow socially and emotionally. I hope we can take an intentional, collaborative approach moving forward. Thank you.
All right, I don't see any online. Any more in the room? Please.
Hi, I'm gonna be very brief because you've already heard from me tonight, sorry. Again, I'm Ashley Healy, I'm a parent of a fifth, third, and first grader. I just really wanted to echo support for some of the comments that have been made about a technology advisory committee. I think one of the things that we do well in Concord is having groups of people who have very diverse experiences and perspectives and getting them together to really talk that out. I think this is a complicated issue, as has been touched on, and we have plenty of folks in the community and who have professional experience and great perspective to add. And I think it would help with developing some safeguards around what's happening in our classrooms. I did want to, echo the sentiment of the distractions can impact learning if there's, things that are not school related or off task. As a person with two children who have significant learning needs, additional learning needs, I should say, on IEPs, who are very prone to distractions and being off task, I could see this significantly impacting their learning as well as their development. And it's really important that we just be, thoughtful about the approach. So I just wanted to echo the support for the committee and thank you all for your time.
Thank you. I don't see it online. Are there any more comments in the room? Okay. That will conclude public comment. Thank you very much for your thoughtful comments. I'd like to move to the consent agenda. This was a late addition. We have the opportunity to accept $50,000 donation towards the design of the Bruce Freeman Trail. I think we chatted about this in prior meetings. I don't have too much more descriptor for it. I think it's that simple. We just need to accept it so that we can pass it forward so that subcommittee can start on their work.
Yeah, they've raised funds that would allow them to put out an RFQ.
RFP,
RFQ
we haven't decided yet.
for design, and so we will be the agent of the funds to go out to bid for the design. So we need to have the money in hand. So it's just a transfer of funds that then will get expelled once the bid for the design is accepted and the cost of that is known. So they have enough for that, so we wanted to work on moving that money with you and then keep you posted on the design as it evolves.
Question on, certainly in favor of this, question on, do we know what the steps are going to be after the design? Can we
Well,
Fleshlight is the prototype.
fundraising will be the first one. The group has committed to being the lead agent on the fundraising. So they're anticipating that's $400,000 to $500,000 that they'll need to acquire. Part of that will probably be some consideration of a CPC application in September. We need the design for that as well. So the design is really the next step to be able to open up opportunities for other funding sources. And that's as far as we'll be able to go until the money is in hand.
There'll be a cost estimate that we'll get out of the design process as well. It's also, there's I think it connects to the Mass Department of Transportation land or
There's a state piece of land
Yeah.
there we have to keep in mind.
we have to coordinate with other agencies as well.
Do we know, who's going to be responsible for the project once it goes forward?
We've taken on oversight after many discussions with the collective group of experts that are really formed in this volunteer group that are doing much of the legwork and then bringing us things to review. So that flow is working quite nicely right now that we're partnering with them.
We will ultimately need to approve, right,
Yes.
since it's on our property, but they are taking the ball.
Yep.
So we will find out, will we find out from them we'll find out the design once the design is complete. And then the steps going forward, we'll learn about, we'll discuss them in the meeting.
Yes.
Yes, they presented to you a couple of months ago.
Yeah, 2 months.
February, that was
Yeah, so they can come back in May if you'd like and give you another update. That was tentatively on the plan.
Yeah.
So they can update you with where they are and how this money was acquired, and we'll share the discussion of the process for the design. Without the design, there's a limited amount to talk about, but we're happy to have them come back.
I think it's great, thank you.
Yeah.
You look a little skeptical.
Well, I guess I wanna know, agree the design is the first step, then come back with the design and we'll figure out what the next steps are going to be after
Yeah.
that. There'll be a conversation between the sustainability, the PTG Sustainability Committee and us, and the design group and us going forward and sort of work step by step through the process.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment, so I think we will bring them back in May, and
Yep.
even in design, we could have them present.
Yeah, you'll have to approve the design, so you'll get to see it as it evolves and then give feedback and send it back to the drawing
But
board.
it's
if
almost
it
like
needs
they
to
bring
change.
like a preliminary project plan
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's like a conceptual design right now, right?
It's a
So
schematic right now, yeah,
a
that's right,
schematic,
Michelle.
okay.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do an RFQ or an RFP process to identify a qualified contractor and move forward from there with an official design product.
Yeah, it'll be a landscape design firm of some kind that has that special expertise. The slope of the land is very specific, so that's gonna have to be very well factored in, ADA compliance.
Touching
Percentage is hard to get,
Trees,
yeah.
yeah, it's fairly complex for what it is, so. A lot more to come.
And now there's pervious solution, pervious area requirement, what did we say last night?
There always is.
Impervious.
Yeah.
The-
There
the-
always
the-
is.
the,
That's a bylaw in Concord, yeah.
So, yeah, that's why from the minute this group talked about this, we knew it's not gonna be. Back in the old days, you just clear a couple trees, you call it a path, this is much more complex. So I would entertain a motion to accept this donation to pass it through.
So moved.
So moved.
Second, we will roll call since Tracy's online. Hurcheck, aye.
Morano, I.
Bishardi, aye.
Rankin, I.
Williams, aye.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have integrated preschool. However, I do see Lauren sitting here, and I'm wondering if we wanna, now that Mr. Lucy is gone, reorder the Willard sign now, so she doesn't have to stay.
I don't mind, whatever you want.
Okay, alright, we'll keep the order since Angel's ready to go.
That's fine.
Great. Alright, we talked a lot about our elementary schools, our middle school, our high school, we talk cell phones, we talk policy, we talk budget. One thing we were discussing we don't hear too much about is the integrated preschool. And so we've asked Angel and her team to come tonight to give us an overview of the program, I guess, opportunities, challenges, and an opportunity for Q&A tonight.
Sure. So Angel's here with Kate Jesmond, who's the integrated preschool coordinator. Just to frame, and then I'm gonna throw it to them. The integrated preschool is just that. By law, we have to service special education students when they turn 3, if they're identified and qualified to be in the program. And we complement that with general education students that pay tuition to create a true inclusive environment. We're running 5 classrooms here at Ripley right now, with, they'll probably have the numbers, 70-ish students. And I'm just gonna say it's a moment to celebrate. We take all children and meet all of their needs. We haven't sent a preschooler out of district in many, many years. And the capacity and skill set of the preschool team in meeting that wide continuum is just nothing short of extraordinary. So Kate and Angel give you more details on that, and it's really an important program to continue to keep present and I think forward facing in the community. So all yours.
Great, thank you so much. So we are thrilled to be here. In previous presentations, we've talked about the continuum of services that we are able to offer in the district. And I think what's important to note is that the integrated preschool provides programming for all students who could eventually fall into any of our district-wide programs moving forward. So they are really families and students' first foray into special education services within the Concord Public Schools. And I think that they are unsung heroes of our district. So I am thrilled that we have Kate Jesmond, who is a school psychologist and also the early childhood coordinator at the preschool, to talk about some highlights and things that were going on at the preschool this year. And we are also here to answer any questions. So Kate, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. There's a lot of wonderful things going on, so I just want to share a few things. I'm going to start off with our recent sing-along event that we've been doing for a few years now with the help of Lauren Judge, our PTG representative. We have hosted a Friday night sing-along where the kids wear their pajamas. Mr. Vick is our guest of honor. He's a very beloved music teacher in the community. He hosts community events with kids. He's great with all types of kids. It was a really nice turnout from parents. They bring little snacks to eat, their dinner. We even had the parents dancing by the end of the night. That was a great event. We're going to continue that, we think, every year going forward, as long as we can. That's hosted in the Ripley Gym. We have monthly visits that are new this year from the Concord librarian, Miss Danielle. So she visits each of our 5 classrooms, comes in, reads a couple books, and does a couple activities for the children. Everyone has loved it so much, we've invited her back, and we think that's going to be happening again next year. We also have started the Haggerty Phonemic Awareness Program. We actually started this through the PRISM grant, the ELA PRISM grant, pre-K through 3rd grade. So at the preschool level, this is a structured daily program that we use in each of the classrooms, designed to build early literacy skills. It really targets the children hearing, recognize, and playing with sounds. As we all know, like the phonological awareness is a precursor to reading. So that's where we start at the preschool level. We really have loved it so far, and we're able to differentiate because we have the 3, 4, 5 mixed classes. So the teachers are really working on differentiating that for each of those levels. We just submitted a grant with the Concord Ed Fund for more inclusive gym equipment. We have a lot. We are able to utilize the Ripley Gym, which is wonderful, on the days that we can't get outside. So we just needed a little more equipment for all of the children because some of them are unable to use some of the current equipment. We also have Ibby the therapy dog. She's in her 4th year now coming. It's a local veterinarian, Dr. Fritz, from the animal hospital. So she's going to continue those visits, we hope, again next year as well. Those are very much loved by all the children. And we also have Nancy McGregor, a retired teacher from the preschool. She just retired last year.
she'll be coming in this spring to host. She actually started our garden in the back area, and she's still coming in to fix that up for us every so often. So she's coming in to host gardening opportunities for all the classrooms this spring. And Lauren Judge and I are currently in the process of reaching out to the vendors in terms of the Eric Carl murals that we created and that were passed from the school committee. So we're hoping to get those up by mid-August. So when we return to school, we have prettier things to look at when we come into all the classrooms. So those are some of the things happening. We're currently full for next year. Our enrollment is full. Our 5 classrooms, all the community slots are we're all set. So we're excited. Those are some of the current, that's some of the current things happening. And I have to say also anecdotally, Kate always says, I work at the best, happiest place on earth. It's a pleasure to come to every day. So thank you for all the work that you do for the preschool. You're welcome. It's a special place for sure. Yep. Any questions?
No questions, but I'll make a comment as a father of 2 kids who've been through integrated preschool. It really was an awesome experience. They still talk about Mrs. D and how much they love her. So thank you. It's a great institution.
I had a question just regarding the facility. We talk about a lot about Ripley as kind of being end of life and kind of just sustain it. And 5 classrooms, you have the gym, you have the garden spaces. Like, how is this space working for you? You're making it work, but like, is it serviceable or are you really trying to make it work?
You know,
Look at them
there's-
hesitate.
I'm-
What,
this
you
is
know the
why we
answer
can't
to
write
that.
surveys, 'cause
Yeah.
I leave
No, there's
questions.
perks about Ripley. There's perks about the building.
Perks about Ripley.
For
Great.
sure. We have a lot
Certainly
of
the playground is gorgeous
playground.
and accessible.
Yeah, and I go over to a lot of preschools, and one of the complaints I've been hearing lately is the outdoor space, especially CCC that just built a brand new, beautiful building across the street, but their outdoor space is not great. So that is one thing we're lucky to have.
Yeah.
But we're working with it. The teachers do a really wonderful job of creating beautiful spaces in their classrooms. We definitely have enough office space. Yeah, it's more of, that upkeep, the daily upkeep of having an older building, I would say.
Yeah.
Some of the things
Andrew,
that
can
come
I
along
just-
with that, yeah.
I would also.
Can I jump in before I have to get off? Because I'm gonna have to get off
Michael
in a
is
minute.
Michael is mid-sentence,
Oh,
Tracy.
sorry.
No problem.
Oh, I can't hear it on. Zoom.
Actually, Tracy, if she has to go,
She's gonna log off and then meet us for executive session.
so if she's time locked for where she is, please go ahead.
Okay, go
and
ahead.
I'll follow.
Okay, I'm gonna go super fast. There's like a time lag on Zoom, so I actually didn't even hear you speaking, so my apologies for interrupting. I'm really grateful to the programming at the preschool, and I have been advocating on the land use committee for outdoor space, so any changes to Ripley, we will definitely have some great outdoor space for you because it's critical. And that, the preschool is where our kids start out, and the foundation that you give them there is just really essential. And I do have a child who is now 20 years old. I'm actually sitting on his college campus right now that went through integrated preschool. So really grateful to the work that's done over there. Mrs. D and Mrs. McGregor, they were right there with us. So thank you so much for everything you do.
So perfect segue in that the question I would have, shall I have you?
Angela, can you hear?
Yep. The question I would have also, knowing what's going on with the land use working group and what we've been talking about in terms of the lifespan of this building, although certainly from a rehab posture, it's possible to rehab. Don't know whether the money works out that way. Are you giving any thought to putting together a wish list of what you need in another site? Or what you'd want in another site? Because if you look at what we were talking about in terms of lifespan of the building, what our town is talking about in terms of land use working group, if this space changes, have your wish list together for what you want and what you need to, make your dreams come true, possibly in another site.
Is that something in work? If it isn't, I might suggest it should be something in work and sort of tucked away in a safe place to be pulled out when needed.
I don't think there's any shortage of wish lists. I think that the preschool team would gladly assemble that list very quickly.
Yeah, we've been relying on Bob and Tracy both have been the voice of the preschool in the land use discussion. You know, Bob was invited to go visit a business office that a big office building, and you should tell them,
Yeah.
you quickly said there's no space for preschoolers to be outside. So we're such at a high level that I think right now that's the advocacy that's happening. There will be a point as things get narrowed down to what the options are where we need the educators to weigh in. You're completely right.
So because of that, to be able to bring the things that are specific and necessary for the work that you do, you should have that on a ledger so that you know the land use working group is working toward that, and that's what the output of their group is going to be suggesting to the select board. Your pieces, what are vital for you to be able to do what you need to do for our students, you should have that in so that you can plot that down to make certain that's top of mind when the site visits are going. So I would just advocate that you look into doing that and having that ready for when it's needed.
So we have, just to add to the land use committee, we did a site visit to a place near the, I forget the name of the street, unfortunately it was a while ago, but it was near the Best Western, across the street, and it was right near Route 2, and so like literally 70 feet away, Route 2, like I want my kid to go there, so that was kind of a quick, easy answer. It would have met our office space needs for central office. I mean, they're also looking for the town, but there is convenience to having the central office and the preschool together, where we have one custodian that can support all of us. And then the preschool has, from time to time, been able to come to us if, you know, a question or something that comes up. Instead of being a small, basically 8 rooms or 9 rooms by themselves, it's hard to find a different building for that. But the biggest piece is the outdoor space that's safe, and that's the hardest to find.
And free from floating toxins in the air.
Yeah.
So again, I think having your wish list, having the things that are having the things that are necessary and vital to be able to present that so that things like that site visit, the place that you were shown, might perhaps even been on the list.
Yeah.
So to make a quick call and make certain things that you need are available and top of mind when sites are sought. That's all I would suggest.
Good points.
The town is simultaneously looking for their own office space too, so I was
Agreed.
tagging along
No,
to some
agreed,
extent, but
agreed.
yeah.
Angel, with Concord Children's Center now like a couple hundred yards away, do you collaborate with them at all? Or Kate?
Sorry,
Or
I have a new cat. So yes, I would say Kate spends a great deal of time consulting with CCC, but also because of the connection with early intervention, she also spends a great deal of time, her and the related service providers, working with other private preschools in town.
They also still have access to some of the outdoor space here.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's cool. Awesome. Any other questions? Sandeep, you're good? Michael, you're good?
Good, yes, thank you.
Well, Angel and Kate, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thanks for the presentation.
Yep,
Thank you
thanks
for having
me.
us.
Michelle, you're good? Okay, she's good. She gave a thumbs up. Cool. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bob, and facilities and capital projects update.
So I've shared a memo. I'm not necessarily gonna flash it on the screen for all parts of it. There are a few pictures in it that I'll periodically call up, but I just am providing an update on various facilities projects since it's a CPS meeting across CPS. And so I'm just gonna go through by school just to give you an idea of what's going on. And these are really, I'm not talking about the day-to-day stuff. These are bigger projects, or in some cases, things that we need to address. Maybe not right away, that we might need to set aside money for in the future on. And our maintenance team is is very busy and I work with them and others, and sometimes we're dealing with, working with community groups as well to determine some of these plans. The first
Do you mind
school.
screen sharing?
Oh, sure. The first school I'm gonna talk about is Alcott. One of the things we have just started looking at there is a playground project. And we invited, this is on the side of the building as you're coming into Alcott, you'll see it there. We invited the contractor that worked on the Thoreau playground, Altiplay, to visit the site, measure it, and offer some suggestions and ideas for us to look at and stimulate ideas. At the same time, the principal, Naomi Cricket, will be speaking with students to get some of their ideas and incorporate as well. Ultimately, even though we're talking to one vendor, there may need to be a bid process where we can consider other companies that offer the same form, fit, or function of products. It might not be identical. So I just want to kind of clarify that doesn't lock us into this company. We've had some drainage issues. It was called the La Brea Shoe Pit at one point. We lost some sneakers in the playground, so drainage is something we've had to pay attention to
It was like
here.
quicksand, it was fascinating.
And
At least it's not tar or hot.
Yeah, we didn't lose the whole child, so that's good.
so we've partly addressed it. We built some drainage along the exterior that's helped mitigate it to an extent, but it's something that we're gonna wanna pay attention to when we do the project, and we'll probably have some of that built into what the specifications are, so that whatever we have in the future is better than our current situation. The hope would be, we don't have any capital funds, we've already gone forward with our FY27 budget. The hope would be that we can come up with a design and move forward with a request to the CPC committee. And have plans that we could submit to them and go through that process. Their deadline, I believe, is in early September. That group, that design at that point would be shared with the broader group, including the school committee. And at that time, we'd have a cost estimate, and we'd have to decide how much we want to ask for from the CPC. We don't have any capital funds available for this year. We could potentially. There is this challenge of when we're budgeting, I don't know if we're gonna have an answer on our CPC grant until we're most of the way through building our budget for the following year. So that's something that we might have to discuss and decide what to do at that point in time. So that's one project. The next.
So question, as I looked through this and the Alcott playground, which also has a Willard playground issue, is there anything that you can look at in terms of project of scale that would like kill two birds with one stone?
So the Willard one is more about specific piece of equipment that we want to remove.
Okay.
Not necessarily, and if we wanted to replace it, we probably wouldn't replace it right away. If we did, it'd be very smaller scale. It'd be putting in a specific piece of replacement equipment, but we're not gonna be able to do that because it'll take time to remove that piece of equipment, and then there's concrete footing on it that's a little bit labor intensive to remove. We might have to hire a contractor, so but I hear your point, and if we were doing a new playground there, yes, we would probably want to bid them together and get better pricing, to the extent that we could digest the amount.
Is there anything about the lifespan of so Thoreau is already work in progress?
Thoreau is, the playground itself is done at Thoreau.
But we're doing we're looking at the second phase. So is there anything about either Alcott or Willard in terms of the sort of lifespan of the playground we have that we should be looking at? We're trying to kill two birds with one stone.
I don't know. Nothing that comes to mind. I think. I mean, the Willard one is not as old. So I mean, that's something we could certainly look at. There's an annual playground inspection that we get at each school, and we do pay for that. And we get feedback, and actually we've repaired some of the things we're doing are based on their findings to repair things. We've actually addressed 3 or 4 things that were highlighted at Willard in a review last year. So that's something we do, and we can use that process to guide us on like, okay, if these are getting to be closer to end of life, move it up the project list.
It is, so Thoreau did, I know we've used school funding to do some parts of the playground. They did a lot of private fundraising. Will we have to do the same thing at?
Yeah, there's a playground committee starting up through the PTG over there.
Yeah.
So it'll be a combination, I expect. To what degree and scale, I don't know if it'll be quite as grand as Thoreau, but that's the work we're doing now, is to do the visioning.
It's a secondary playground, right? Like
They
their
have a
primary
small-
playground is
No, this is the I guess we'll decide which one is primary and secondary. We're talking about the big one on the side of the building toward
yeah.
Laurel Street.
Okay.
There is behind the building,
okay.
there's a smaller one that's designed for younger children. So they do have 2 sites to some extent.
So it's the bigger one.
It's the bigger one.
Oh, okay.
It is amazing how the playground equipment weathers and also falls out of compliance. Like I look at the
Yes.
Willard slide and that's like a nightmare. I would see my kids go up there and all I think is broken arms, and accessibility too. So it's good that we're doing this. And I don't know where we left off with the town, but I thought this was a tough year because of the finishing the school and other capital, but they sounded encouraging towards allocating capital every year to just do general maintenance, so things don't sit and build up over time. So this may be a good project.
Second item, this was given to me by the maintenance manager, a tree that is essentially dying or dead, and over the summer, we're gonna look to remove this,
It's so sad.
safety purposes. I know it looks
It's like
nice
a
in
really
this
beautiful
picture.
Yeah, and it's like such a
Yeah, it's
it's like part of the entrance.
We've had an arborist look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Can't come back.
no, it's not safe.
We can plant a suitable replacement that might take a little while to grow, but.
Yeah, if you look, you'll see there's, I don't know, 4 or 5
Few months.
trees from the 250th
Oh,
on
yeah.
that campus,
Yeah.
so things will grow up around where it is.
The town won't take that out for us.
No, the maintenance
Yeah.
department asked, not on school property, I think they have a list of things to.
They
to
did
do
help with
ahead
the
of it.
assessment of whether it was viable or not, though.
Okay.
So the other item, and this is not specific to Alcott, but it also is at Willard, I just included some pictures of the curbs there. And depending on what we do, this could be expensive. And the idea would be to try to do something before it deteriorates to the point where we need to fully replace it. It's really, if you look at the pictures, the side that's closest to the curb where the buses are driving, is where most of the deterioration happens, on that half of the sidewalk. The other half that's closest to the school, when I walked it, it doesn't show all here in the pictures, is in significantly better shape. There are some cracks also, or separation, as you can see in the top left picture there, that go across whole sections. But most of it is on the side closest to the curb. Concrete's expensive. There'll be considerations on, does it replace with like for like? Is it even possible to patch it? And have it look halfway decent? So we'll come up with some options on this over the summer and try to figure out what to do, either short-term repairs or what some long-term capital would be, and what the options are. So that'll be something we'll bring to our capital planning process next year.
It's not deteriorated to the point where it's unsafe.
I mean, I'd say probably not, unless you're walking right on the edge, on the left edge of the curb. Yeah.
Who would make that assessment? Because that was my thought as well.
That's a good question. We can look
Specific
into that.
for a third degree sprain or.
Yeah, we can look into that. I don't know the answer to who would make that assessment.
Michelle's got a question.
Bob, do you think that if this is something that is a candidate for replacement, would you consider options like permeable pavement to reduce, because likely that's caused by like pitching and in water drainage and salt getting stuck in the cracks. Maybe if you use permeable pavement, that might reduce those issues and be a little bit more environmentally friendly.
Yeah, we can certainly look into that. We'll probably come up with a menu of options and costs so that we can see what the, you know, what the costs are that go with the different options and be able to present it and get direction. Maybe from the committee at that point, like one option might be 400, I'm just making up a number, 400,000 that we really want. And there could be some other one that's less expensive that is our second option that we have to make a decision on the trade-off. I don't have enough information now, I just wanted to highlight the issue, but we can gather that information and share it as we move into next year.
So this is just foreshadowing projects that will be on the radar next year. Next year we'll.
This one is, yeah.
Yeah, we'll prioritize and.
Yep.
Not unlimited budget, so we'll prioritize. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just thought since we were talking about Alcott, this may be pricey that I should highlight it. So I'm gonna move on to Thoreau. So we recently we recently went out to bid, and this is for the second phase of the Thoreau campus project. The first phase was the playground and an athletic field that'll be used for youth soccer on the side of the campus that's farthest away from the school. I forget the name of the adjacent street, but
I think that's Chase. Yeah.
Chase, okay. And so that field is the grass is done pretty well. There'll be some additional growth that won't be used this season. It'll be used next fall. So it'll be kind of stabilizing and solidifying the turf here, and we'll do some overseeding. The next phase of the camp, and we also did the playground, which I've talked about. The next phase of the project is a nature space adjacent to the playground. So there's a playground and there's a swing set over by the woods. And in between, we've envisioned and designed a nature space. Other things we were looking at doing were paving a parking lot, doing some landscape retention, doing some seeding, repaving basketball court that has a crack through it. And there's a curved path that the maintenance team uses and drives their vehicles on that has some erosion on it, and it's also not designed very great in terms of the curve on it. That the way it's built facilitates a little bit of erosion. We went out to bid to do this. We had a cost estimate and we had funding set aside for it in the amount of $850,000. The bids came in at 1.6 million. So we're back at the drawing board here. The part of the thought we have through discussion is that if we break these apart, we might get better pricing. We initially thought, and initially were guided to bid them together. We thought it might be easier to work with one contractor to do it all. We only had 2 companies interested in bidding for that. If we break apart the paving and the nature space, we might get a landscape company that specifically bid on the nature space and a paving company on the parking lot. We're working with town DPW. We're going to add our incorporate our parking lot with their bid. They have 2 parking lots they're doing, so we hopefully get some economies of scale on pricing. We're gonna remove other parts of the project and just focus on the parking lot and the nature space, which are the 2 biggest parts of work. The nature space is primarily CPC funded. There's some remaining Thoreau playground funds. So those are 2 funding sources for that. So the hope is that we'll be able to move forward with those in the summer. The DPW is confident that they'll get bids. They go out to bid for paving all the time. The schools hardly ever do. We might do a parking lot or something like once every 3 years. The town's bidding $3 to $5 million in paving every year, so they get people to respond regularly. So I'm hopeful. The town DPW is confident just because they've done it before, and hopefully we get a price that fits within our price range. In the nature space, we need to revisit, and we're gonna need to do.
Sorry.
What's that?
On that price point, is there, like, are we looking for I mean, even if we're able to bring that price point down, I don't think we're likely to bring it down 50%, like half.
So we're.
So are we looking for other resources or or reducing, or is the next step to reduce the scope of the project?
So
Or
we
both?
don't, the first part of the question is we don't have other resources right now.
Yeah,
They, part of this included like seating of the campus, which we don't think, we're just gonna not do that. The prices were exorbitant. There was, I think, 200,000 or roughly 200,000 to do, grass seating, hydro seating. We're gonna take that out and just not do it. Like the campus, the seating our maintenance team can do, and it might not be as great, but that wasn't an essential component of this. We thought it would be a minor amount that the consultants would add, and it turned out to be a huge number. So that'll just come out, that's 200,000. The basketball court, instead of repaving the whole thing and removing it, our consultants came up with a plan that we'll probably not do it in this bid, but we'll do it separately at another time, is to remove the crack and go out like another foot on each side of the crack, and then remove that and then repave that and then paint over the whole thing so it looks uniform.
sort of like a pothole.
Yeah, right. But they think there's methods to do
Yeah.
this that will
Painted
Yeah.
pothole.
so not crack sealing, but like, a
Yeah.
step beyond that.
Yeah.
And
I
that
think
should,
that's good, that's great.
yeah. And then we're not gonna do that curved road for maintenance. I talked to the maintenance facilities director, and he said they can work with what they have for now. Like and for a while. It's not ideal, and we'll manage with it, but the core, like the parking lot has to be done. And the nature space, we have CPC money and donated money that we have and would like to use, and it'll really make the nice campus look nice in that side of it. So those are kind of the nature space we do need to look a little bit more at. There are a couple expensive features we might need to revisit and go with a more moderate cost option. For example, instead of bluestone tiles in one section, something more like paving block or something like that.
Could phase it over a couple of years, right, too?
Well, can I, cause
Yeah.
I've been the adamant one on
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
You're seeing the list of needs.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to wrap Thoreau up and
Yeah.
move on
Move to
to
the next needs.
another place.
Yeah.
It's getting a really huge facelift.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of directing that I wanna compromise on some of these and
Got it.
move on to some of the other projects.
There's also a time frame for the use of the CPC funds.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
not the
Are
donor.
you, I don't think the playground committee has met recently.
They haven't, no.
Yeah, so does this go back to them, or what?
Well, Justin and I were talking about that. I mean, we wanna work through it and then show them
Yeah,
kind of where we are. Cause there's a lot of discussion going on now about options and costs, and
yeah.
we
Part
would
of it
like to
is what's
propose what we're
possible.
gonna do and
Yeah.
show them.
Yep.
So that's we were disappointed in the bid, but
We were
we're
more
back
than
to the drawing board.
disappointed. I don't think I've seen you that angry. Those bids came in that day. It's hard.
We list the cost estimate on the bids too, so it was kind of bewildering to see them bid 1.6 million when our cost estimate was 850. But
And two different bids, right?
Yeah.
So that's
the feedback we got from somebody else was they probably weren't interested in the project, and they
Yeah.
were trying to tell
Yeah.
us, we'll do it if you can come up with a ton of money. So we also have, as we get into air conditioning season, things pop up, and we have two compressors that need to be replaced in the Thoreau 94 wing. They've been ordered, and I think they'll be installed during April vacation is the plan. If the parts arrive when we're told. Those are not inexpensive parts, but we'll get that going in case any Thoreau people are out there wondering about that. Just wanted to highlight it. Willard also has some HVAC issues. They have some leak with a refrigerant with the chiller. The chiller is partly functional. It's not gonna be completely unfunctional, but the part that they need has a longer lead time. And we were advised mid-May is when they would expect it to arrive. We'll certainly try to see what we can do to get it sooner.
Suddenly we need the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming this week, so.
Global warming.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
for this week anyway, it's
Yes.
back again, bound down
Last week
next
they
week.
snowed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, it's,
spring in New England.
It does help when at first, we always have a little bit of HVAC issues when the AC first comes on, so it's kind of nice we're getting a little blip now, so we'll have time to fix it before it really does get warm.
So Willard also has some similar side, well, not exactly the same. There's not any curbs in the parking area. I mean, there is, you know, as you walk up to the school, but in the parking area, there's not. And that leads to some crumbling along the edges. You know, I don't know that we need to address it right away, but the more it crumbles, the more we're gonna have to repair. And I think if we just repave it, probably have the situation happen again. So we need to think about how to best address that. And we'll bring forward that into our capital planning as well. Put a picture of a piece of playground equipment that we need to remove, and it's not as simple as just removing it because there's a metal attachment that attached to the equipment that they would have to, I think, solder or saw off, and the concern with doing it while school's running is, you know, there could be potentially some exposed metal. Even if you put something on it, somebody could take it off, and we didn't want to have that. So the thought was that the best time to do this would be during the summer, and that would allow them time to kind of grind it down and also to remove the cement footing underneath it. So it's not great the way it looks, but we felt like it was safest to schedule this for the summer.
Do you have any background on what happened? Did it just fall off or?
This has been this way for a few months. It's
What is it?
That's not a slide, that's what is it?
like a seesaw.
Yeah.
And no kids were hurt when
No,
this fell apart.
yeah,
No.
no, thankfully.
This is one we would look potentially for, after we remove it, then afterwards maybe a replacement piece of equipment. We talked about the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail. I don't know that we'll go through that again. We'll talk about it more in an upcoming meeting. We do have some flexibility in the way we procure it. And we want to pick a contractor who has the skills and experience that is best suited to work with us on this. Maybe is familiar with certainly this type of project. It'd be nice if they're familiar with some of Concord's specific rules and regulations that they have to deal with. But so we'll go through an evaluation of contractors to identify one that's most suited for this project that we can afford.
So after we've seen the full design, and then that's the next step after that.
This is to select the person to do the design.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll go through a process to pick that company that's gonna do the design. In the athletic fields, I just wanted to be clear, those are offline until the fall of 2026, so that's mostly on here to let people know that there's additional growing.
Do they open to the community in the fall of 2026 or just to the schools? Like will they?
They'll open to everyone.
They'll be open.
It should be solid at that point.
It looks really nice.
Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it looks so nice. Yeah.
Looks ready.
It looks ready.
That's the problem. It's tempting right now, yes.
Yeah, it looks really pretty in the baseball diamond. It looks
Yeah.
very, very nice.
The last one is Knox Trail. So we have electric vehicle infrastructure work going on there. There's two things going on. The first one is there's a mass CEC grant through the state.
Can you just say the bus depot?
Oh, yes, Knox Trail is the bus depot, which is located in the Acton Concord line, I think in the, right on the line there. And so we received a grant that will fund this. We're working with CMLP. We do have some town capital that the CMLP is using to put in a specific electrical device. I forgot what it's called. I'm drawing a blank. But there's putting in a electrical infrastructure transformer thing. On site, it will be dedicated to these chargers. The existing capacity there can't handle more chargers. This will be located right next to the existing charger on the rear corner of the campus near the solar panels, kind of working its way back from there. There's various things that have to happen. The first part is digging and trenching to put the conduit in, and the and the wiring. And that has to be done in coordination with an environmental consultant that's EPA authorized. CMLP is working with them. They need to do some soil testing in the event that we remove soil, we have to bring it to. So there's a lot that goes into that, but long story is short is that the target date for this to be completed is mid to late May 2026. There's through the grant a contractor that is assigned as the project manager that's installing the pads and the charging infrastructure. They estimate that their work will take about a week. That'll be done the first week of June. And then there's a software vendor that installs their software and commissions to make sure everything's working. There's other things that aren't listed here. There's actually, I think, 6 or 7 companies that we're talking to on this. There's a lot going on. There's as part of the installation with the software company, they work with CMLP to work out an agreement on how much revenue CMLP will give them when they charge the grid back, because these are bi-directional chargers. That's something CMLP will work out with the vendor. One of the goals of this project is to test bi-directional charging, so we can use our school buses essentially as a charger back to the grid during peak periods, and envision like a 97-degree day in July when we're not using our buses. And the rates that CMLP pays for electricity at that time are like 100 times what they would normally pay during peak demand periods. So by them getting this from us, they can save a lot of money. And some of that savings could potentially go to a fund that might help fund future bus purchases. We don't know what the finances of how that'll work out. This is a grant that lets us try it out for free. And we're kind of excited to see how it goes. At the same time this is going on, we have been talking to Highland Fleet Solutions. We initially just reached out to them, and it so happened that we found when we talked to them, they had another school district that had Highland received federal funding to work with them, and they received 5 electric buses from a federal grant. Highland is able to repurpose those buses. The other school district's not able to move forward with the project, so they're able to repurpose them to us, and they would be able to offer us those 5 buses. They would also essentially be helping us manage keeping them online. Their structure and their business model is to they'll have a management fee that'll include the buses, them to run some software to monitor how they're performing. They'll be able to potentially talk to the CMLP about whether vehicle to grid is an option or not. They'll pay for repairs. Basically, they're guaranteeing that any repair costs they'll cover. We can get reimbursed for anything we do. If our mechanics do it, we can get reimbursed. So financially, whatever the price we have with them that were quoted, there are some, let's just say it's $40,000 a year per bus, which is a little bit more than we would pay for a lease of a diesel bus. We would, however, not be paying for gas. The electricity comes for free on this as part of the arrangement. We wouldn't be paying for repairs and maintenance or preventative maintenance. So the thought is that this will be financially viable, but we just need to get their final proposal so we can vet that. We've tried to loop them into discussions with the grant, with the different entities involved in the grant. I've had a couple Zoom meetings with all of them, and we're building in some flexibility to what's being put in for infrastructure for the first grant project, and it'll enable the second company, Highland, to basically add on to that and implement their things with some cost savings. So
it's exciting.
It's really exciting.
It's net exciting. I think people don't. Some people don't realize like all the barriers to electrifying our fleet.
Yes.
The cost, the infrastructure, maintenance, the ability to get parts, and safety. And this takes the first 4 out. Still have questions on safety, but it's exciting.
One of the reasons Highland's been excited, cause we literally just cold called them and said, is there an option for a district that's already started doing this, municipal light and power? And they were like, you're Concord and you've been doing this a long time. They're so excited to work with people who know electric buses, that's been a really big win on both sides. And then when they said we had grant money to, they have, would you like the money we can't spend other, and we're like, well, yeah. So it's been really exciting and seems to be coming to fruition. Bob is managing a lot of people right now, as you see this list. I went to one meeting and said you can handle the rest, cause it's a very complex project.
So, Bob, question. It says the agreement if approved, is that approval on our side?
Yeah.
What are you talking about
The
now?
Highland.
Third to last line.
Oh, so I mean, we're doing all this work in anticipation of using them, but until I see a proposal with the price outlining exactly what our agreement is, I'm not gonna say yes. So.
And just because it's so novel, I think we would bring it to you before we sign off, just so you understand the structures.
And it's with Concord, so it'd be all Concord buses, not that we, that's fine. It's a grant to Concord, not to the region. And
right.
Yeah, there's a lot we're gonna certainly learn from it. I feel like I'm learning something every meeting. And there's some stuff that's technical, a little bit beyond, but we have experts and who are helping us with that. Going from we really only have 2 functional electric buses now. They're the oldest Lion bus. The company's defunct. It's not functional. Going from 2 to 7 is a little scary for our transportation, leadership and mechanics. So we wouldn't necessarily get rid of 5 diesel buses. We might get rid of a couple and just get some comfort level. This is also a different manufacturer. IC is it might be short for international, but IC is the acronym of the bus company. We've used Anderson on our most recent one. Anderson's was much better than Lion. There are still some challenges in cold winter weather and very warm summer weather. But
in range, right? Like these still can't get to Boston and back.
Yeah, we wouldn't use these for a Boston trip. No, just in case there was a.
So with our experience comes, we know the strengths and the challenges,
Yeah.
so we will balance them.
Yeah, I mean, as we get more familiar with these, if the range increases and these chargers will charge faster, our existing chargers are slow to charge. So if we used an electric bus in the morning, I don't even know if they fully charge by the time they go back out in the afternoon. These chargers will charge faster, which is a benefit as well. So we're excited. I'm excited at the same time. I'm a little nervous. Like there's just some unknowns, and I'd like to be. It's fun to be on the leading edge, not the bleeding edge. But I feel like we have.
That was 10 years ago, the bleeding edge with the very first bus in the country, and that one back. Very challenging.
So those are what's going on at CPS for facilities. I do want to just give a shout out to our maintenance team as well. That's doing a great job keeping up with our buildings, and we've gotten that feedback from the schools multiple times throughout the year. So they'll be certainly involved in these as well.
Thank you. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, especially on the heel of budget season. All right, quarterly budget transfer. Quarterly transfers.
6% battery power. So I'll do
We
this
can go
one
quick.
Okay.
Oh, is that a strategy for quicker school committee? I'll stop bringing my charging cord.
Radio batteries.
I still have 78% charge here, so I'm good.
All right, so just a quick high level. This is a status of our budget. It's been a little bit tight at CPS. I'll just talk through, what the transfers have been so far. The 69,906 in the second column. What's in the second column for transfers and adjustments is what the school committee needs to approve. These are year-to-date transfers and adjustments through April 10th. So if you've approved them previously, these are not what's happened since then. These are the year-to-date amounts. The 69,906 is the additional transportation reimbursement we receive for homeless reimbursement. The town gets that directly and they added it to our budget to help us offset what we paid for that was not budgeted the prior year. So the key drivers here, I would say, within the 2,000, we added 2 elementary special education administrators. However, we reduced a Willard grade K teacher and a Thoreau ELA teacher, budget year over year. So those are essentially offsetting within the instructional leadership category. There's some savings in supplies and materials. Within the 3,000 series, we received a credit for case special ed transportation. It's a refund of a prior year's surplus. They're required to issue that. And that's what's driving the other school services. A lot of the other accounts are fairly small. I'll skip the smaller ones. The fixed charges of 80,000 is there's 2 things there. The property and liability insurance is up 41,000 in part because we have an updated building valuation. There's also rate increases, so the middle school is driving that. And sick leave buyout, more people retired. We have a clause in our CTA contract, more people retired than we anticipated that were eligible for that. So that's slightly over budget. And then the rest, the last one, the out of district tuitions. There's 2 things here. We budgeted to use 830,000 in circuit breaker, but our reimbursement there is going to be 740. So we're going to try to use what we're going to receive in our reimbursement, and so my screen just
battery
blanked
actually
out.
just
Yeah. So there's 1 additional placement for out of district tuition, and then we're using less circuit breaker, and the combination of that 2 is why we need about 200,000 out of district tuitions. The rest of it,
That reimbursement's a good news, right? Is that more than you thought?
no, it's bad news. I had anticipated we were gonna get closer to 830,000.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
was less.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's it. You can see at the end, if you look at the far right number, there's costs that we're gonna incur that are not in there. There are like substitute teacher costs we don't encumber because you don't know when you're gonna need them. There's other things that we might need to order. There's the driver's salaries are not fully encumbered because they do extra trips sometimes that are not, we just encumber their base salary. So, when I look at the budget at a detailed line item level, it's gonna be fairly tight. I don't know if you want me to mention, I'll save the detail for later.
Yes.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yeah.
And this was sparked by the 4,000 line item that says mostly due to favorability on CMS electricity. And I'm sorry if I missed this part of the conversation, but I'm curious. I remember last year during our budget conversations, there was a lot of question marks around utilities at CMS because we just
Yeah.
don't know. It's a new building. I'm curious how it has played out. And clearly electricity, we were under budget.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how you've seen it play out?
So I would say we need to do, in terms of dollars versus budget, fairly well.
Yeah.
We have information from the design team on what they thought our usage should be that we use to guide the budget.
Yep.
They don't know what our rates are,
Right.
so our rates change as part of it. I did budget a little bit extra going into this year. Some of last year, when the CTA was building the building, the doors were open all the time in January and February, so our bills were pretty high. And so I used part of that to guide what we budgeted this year, and we're not leaving the doors open, we're not building the building.
Extraordinarily
right.
cold winter.
Yeah, last year. So there was a couple reasons why I had budgeted higher.
Yep.
But also the rates were relatively moderate, so all in all,
There were no outliers.
no, I think we're pretty
this
happy
is
with how the buildings,
$40,000,
knock on wood, but the HVAC system seems to be working, the actual electricity usage is reasonable. You can measure an EUI versus what their target is. I'm not the expert on how to do that, but I think that's something we might wanna ask SMMA to just look at and validate. And then, at some point, we might wanna look at like the usage, this was something that was highlighted to me. Usage by area, are the different systems using the same amount of electricity we'd expect? And are certain areas using more than we would expect? Like, I don't know, food service equipment, HVAC, I don't know what the, lighting, things like that.
I just
but
wanna give a
yeah.
shout out to the building team, both the OPM and contractor are still actively, and we're gonna hear updates tomorrow morning on the CMSBC meeting. The commissioning has been right on through till now to get that HVAC stuff right and all of that, and I think I'm really impressed with their dedication to get it perfect before we sign off, so.
Yeah, and there's community members too, like Matt Reed,
Yeah.
that's like been very involved too.
Yeah, we send data to Matt and Charlie
Yeah.
constantly, who are on the committee and are watching data just like you asked, at a very detailed level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there'll still be some eyes on that as we
Yeah.
go forward.
Yeah, for sure.
But certainly, I think it came out good, it's a lot better than it was, and we're spending less than we did on the other building, the other two buildings. And we're also air
Like
conditioning.
combined, like yes, that would make sense.
And we're air conditioning,
Yeah.
which we didn't do in the other two
Right,
buildings, so
right.
it's not even an apples to apples comparison.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I'd say it's going pretty well. So I unless there's any other questions, I would just ask that you approve the transfers as presented. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Your last motion?
I move that we approve the transfers as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Right, Tracy's off, so I believe we can just do a regular vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Sure.
Oh, you want me to read the executive session?
Oh, right, there's one more.
Oh, there's one more.
Another last.
All right,
Another last.
Lauren, thanks for being patient. I guess we didn't coordinate who would tee this up, so maybe I'll tee it up and
That's great.
you have the props and
I do.
I can put up the map.
Yeah.
So,
Do you wanna join us? Sure.
yeah. I know there Cynthia had a question too on this, so we're trying to keep this under wraps, so per process, we have to do this in a public meeting, so maybe the bridge doesn't wanna report on this part, but the PTG would like to dedicate a permanent sign to Mr. Lucy, close to when he departs, right? Lucy Lane, and I can pull up the proposed location, and maybe do you wanna describe a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the community really would like to honor him in some way, and so the PTG has taken the lead, and with PTG funds we would like to name a path behind Willard Lucy Lane. As you can see on the map there, so the front of Willard is at the very top of the screen. So where it says Lucy Lane signage is where we envision this sign. That gray path, the gray circle around the building is a paved path. And then it kind of forks off at that signage spot and leads to Raymond Road, which is a small cul-de-sac behind Willard. What's special about this path too is that it's utilized by a lot of kids in the neighborhood. My kids ride it all the time on bike to school day. There's a group led by a police officer who bikes down that path. And so it's very like a beloved path in the neighborhood and in the Willard community. So as you can see here, this is Billy Crosby from Crosby Design. Tracy Morano actually recommended him. And so he came, showed me what he thought would be an appropriate height for the sign, and that was the location that we envisioned. So basically where I'm standing taking the photograph, Willard is behind me. We're facing Raymond Road is behind those trees back there. So it would be on the property right there. It what he mocked up for us is this, which I can show everyone here. This sign is the same. We're trying to keep the branding consistency with the sign that's in the front of the school. So it is the same font, same color background, same color lettering. The one difference we were proposing, if you look at this image, is that this Lucy Lane sign would be wooden and carved, rather than the front sign, which is more like this, like a laminate. He also, it would not have this gold, it would be more like that gold there. And also the ends would not be curved and ornate like that, it would be more like a typical street sign, like this shape. The reason I have the smaller one is because we would then like to frame this, have it also be a smaller wooden sign and give it to Matt as a keepsake to take home. I think that covers it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Billy, I think grew up in Concord and has had a local sign shop, and I'm pretty sure he does like half the signage in Concord. He does a really good job. It's handmade in his shop by
I went in there, it's pretty incredible.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So, and he takes it, as you can see, very seriously. So
Yes.
I think this is an awesome idea. Again, very difficult to approve alterations to public land outside of a public meeting, so we had to do it this way, so thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm in full support and open to discussion, questions.
It's a great idea. Just one quick question. I saw a fire hydrant right there.
Yes.
And you have checked in with them, that's okay to place.
Good question. We have not checked in with them yet. I don't know if you're able to pull that picture back.
I can help with that, Lauren, if you.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think it should be, it's.
It
Okay.
looks far
probably
enough.
is not, but it's better to show them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can see, it's on the opposite side of the path, which was my thinking, putting the sign on the opposite side of the hydrant.
I'll just send them it so they can
Okay.
bless it.
That's terrific, thank you.
One other question on the durability of the wooden sign.
Yeah, he seemed to think it was pretty durable. I can find out exactly, the lifespan of that material, but he didn't have any hesitation going that route.
Get him to give us a lifetime warranty.
Exactly. I know where to find it.
Is this being
I think they did our
paid for
possibility signs.
exclusively by the PTG?
Exactly.
I mean, Matt's texting me about the experience here tonight, so I can't even imagine when this happens to us.
So
Yeah.
he doesn't know?
He does not
does
know.
not know.
So I had Billy meet me there on a Saturday when Matt was not there. And we hope to keep it a surprise until June, and pending the approval of this, then we would make plans on how we would present it to him, and would involve Chris Price in those plans and all of that.
Beautiful gesture.
Yeah, very nice.
Awesome. Any other questions? Good. All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the sign. Carrie, would you like to say?
So moved?
Yeah, I need a second. Thank you. All those in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thanks for
Thank
sticking
you for everything,
sticking
Lauren.
around. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right,
I got it.
okay, thank you.
I move that the Concord School Committee will enter into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the Concord Teachers Association Education Support Professionals. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares, and not return to open session.
Right. Okay,
I just.
that's fine. And we don't need to roll call it, so thank you very much.